everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Liberty Report. With us today is Daniel McAdams, our co-host. Daniel, good to see you.
Good morning, Dr. Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Have a little problem here with, what's going on with the virus and what's going on with our president, what's going on with our liberties. Same old stuff that's been going on for a long time. And we have a little bit of information that we can say, well, moving in the right direction. More harm done, but wake up more people. That's about the best we can do at the moment. But we certainly need to keep after this. And right now, all of a sudden, when things have improved, a couple of months ago, things were improving. They were opening up and people were excited and the economy was picking up. All of a sudden it was reversed. It was too good. And if you're in the business of controlling people, you don't want things to be too good. People could take care of themselves. But you have to have it where they're dependent on the government. So therefore, the epidemic had to be restored.
Hey, Susan.
They had an easier time terrorizing the people and scaring them into submission to the government. But now it was getting better, so they had to do something. So all of a sudden,
y'all getting too happy.
This virus, it's a variant virus now, and it's killing people, which they've never proved. Matter of fact, they can't even prove who really had it and who didn't have it.
Because they ain't eating their vegetables.
Specifics on this variant is no more precise than it was in the early years with COVID. But our governor is on the receiving end, as well as the Florida governor on the receiving end, and got the attention of the president.
Yeah.
The president says, hey, look, you guys moving too fast. We need to slow it up. We don't want you to prove that the red states are doing better than the blue states. Somebody might want to move to your states and get more congressmen to represent you. So Biden is out there, and
somebody might want to move to Texas. Good morning, everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me know. I was just listening to Ron Paul, Liberty Institute, while I was trying to jump around, going for a hike, not stepping on rattlesnakes. Did y'all see that rattlesnake? I guess I can't say they're not out here no more. Well, I never said they weren't out here. I just simply said I've not seen them. The only rattlesnake I saw was in town until just about 30 minutes ago. I almost stepped on this big old diamondback. Big monster. Oh, he's huge. How big was he? He's bigger than what I ever saw in Pennsylvania. How about that? Never ask a man's size, because we don't do good with that. We usually tell the story that we want to tell. He was big. Anyway, I'm cooking breakfast real quick. I was listening to Ron, and then we'll do comments. I'm going to eat, and then we'll get out of here.
Tool is government rules and regulations and taxation. And there's various means you can do this. You can.
Oh, why is this important? Because some people are going to say, oh, it's politics. I don't like politics. Politics that's nonsense. All right. What they were talking about is the social credit score. So the social credit score from China is coming here. And I think that's important information, right? The idea that because you want to live off grid, you can't now buy a house. You can't get a credit card because you listen to your music too loud, because your neighbor reported you, because you got blocked by friends on Facebook, because you got multiple profiles. All of these are reasons why you won't be allowed to engage in society. And so this has nothing to do with Republicans and Democrats, not to me. It has to do with the fact that they're still trying to boost slavery. So
raise taxes, increase regulations, threaten people, undermine the system, get people to do the dirty work for you, get the corporations for rewards. They will follow the orders of the government. We've seen that before, and we've talked about it, that they are, in many ways, at least the big corporations and a lot of the social media, nothing more than the arm of the government to be used as a weapon against the people. Today, we wanted to spend a little bit of time, at least on what Biden is specifically doing. And he, it sounds like, well, he's a threat to business. But I'd say to you, threat to business, yes. Is he a threat to the businessman that does special deals with China?
Yeah.
Those deals don't seem to.
So to clarify, Ron, I'm going to pretend I'm on Ron's show today. To clarify, he's a threat to small business, medium-sized business, and some large business that don't play ball with slavery, with the United States Incorporated. So I agree. He's definitely a threat to business, but only the businesses that aren't crony enough to be a part of the East India Trading Company, which is also the fourth Mike. Well, it starts with an R, but I'm going to say it that way because, of course, you hit the algorithms when you say anything historically true. Hang on a second.
Be charged. So if the deals are a little on the shady side, we don't even know they exist. But people who want to live in a free society and doing well, then and a governor comes up and changes the rules to improve the state. DeSantis has been good all along, and our governor has gotten better, and the state is doing better. So that can't go. So I think the president feels under the gun that we have to knock them down a few notches. The question is, can he get away with it? Yeah. Will everybody roll over? Will everybody do what they are told to do? And will they roll over and make the economy bad again?
Of course they will, because it's political, right? They'll do it because their team wants them to. They'll go along with it because their current master wants them to shut down and destroy more lives and cause more suicides and shut down society, because that's what their team is doing. That's what their team wants. So that's what they're going to do.
And I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I'm hoping the American people are not as submissive as they were a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot has been written about the social credit system that was introduced in China. And it's not a specific one system. It's a sort of a mixture of systems, but it really went into force in 2014. A lot of what's mentioned here is hyperbolic about what the system is.
Vegans, close your eyes.
It's objectively true about it. That should be very chilling. So sometimes things come together nicely for us when we're doing the show, and sometimes they don't. But today we had a really interesting article. Kristen Tate wrote a piece in The Hill. She's a good libertarian writer, and she talked about coming soon to the U.S. a social credit system, which would be like the Chinese system. And it's very chilling. What is social credit? Well, in a nutshell, and this is a Wired article in 2019, explains it really well, wired.co.uk. It basically, the concept is you expand the credit check that you would get for when you're going to buy a car or a house. Does the guy pay his bills on time? Does he make enough money in his job to pay for this house? Expand that to all aspects of life. So you don't judge just the ability of the person to pay, aspects about their behavior and their trustworthiness. Did he do jaywalking? Did he not pay his court bill?
Did they engage in all the experimentations that the kings and lords require? Do they drink the right water? Do they eat the right foods? Do they use the right pesticides and glyphosate on their gardens? Do they plant with the GMO crops that the big corporations want them to? You see how that works? This is why you never give them the power, because the power, when it comes to an oligarchy, is always going to go back to doing what corporations want you to do, which means you totally have no freedom whatsoever. I'm going to try to do comments while I walk down through this best that I can. Do they buy the right meats? The ones 3D printed in the factories? Good morning, everybody. So I'm just kind of listening to Ron, and I figure I'll go through comments. Yum. Yes, Susan, it's going to be off the charts. I had an avocado around here somewhere. You got to eat raw food with your breakfast. Look at that. Ain't that looking delicious? Look at that. Look at that. The Negro chef in an artificial desert. All right. Who just a few minutes ago wouldn't have been here if he stepped on that damn rattlesnake. All right, hold on. Avocado. While I'm doing this stuff, let him talk and we'll go through together. Gov sucks. Yes, they all do. All the time. On Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Slavery always sucks. Doesn't matter who it is, what state it is, what region, what nation. This master always sucks. Stop having masters. Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. I need a knife to cut my avocado. Hold on a second. And yes, if you were following the thread this morning, we did some more blocking today. Absolutely. Not playing. I don't have time. And today was a great example. I can got a little bit of this from this dude right here, Beaufont. Right. So I'm like reading my comments, taking a break. I was putting up the barbed wire fence, which, I was trying to educate people. When you put up barbed wire fences, you got to put up the high wire first. That's the first thing you do. Do the high wire. Why? Because if you don't do the high wire first, the high wire, then you won't understand that when you do the lower wires, you're going to get cut up and jacked up. It's unhealthy. if you don't go to the high wire first. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. And so I go for a walk. And as I go for my little walk, I run into this big, massive snake while I'm reading my comments. And I was like reading a thread with Harsh and a guy y'all call Walter, who I used to consider a friend. I'm not, he still could be a friend, but he's in a zone where he's not helpful, you know, personal attacks, lies, drama, da, 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 da. It's like, all right, listen, I don't have on-grid problems. I got off-grid problems. I don't have time for bullshizzle when I'm walking around and there's snakes every damn where they are now, just because I saw one. So, yeah, he's gone. And this is what I'm saying. I'm going to start blocking people. I got to stay focused. A lot of things are going on. Social credit score, mandates. You know, they're like pushing this civil war thing as hard as they can. And people don't seem to understand that it has nothing to do with what's going on. When you try to steal the world from people and take them to the new world on a ship, whether it's a Democrat or Republican ship, they're going to revolt, right? I'm trying to avoid that. Anyway, your videos are getting more and more Bin Laden. No, it's not. No, it's the bullshizzle. Bo, that makes no sense. Because with Bin Laden, you could see his eyes and his face and nose and all that stuff. All I see, and maybe it's just my screen, I see some teeth. I see some teeth and a little piece of a nose. Bin Laden didn't have this kind of color, baby.
Listen to music too loud on the train. And so what this is if this entirety of who you are violates what they believe, then you can lose your ability to get a plane ticket, get a train ticket, travel, go to a restaurant even. Imagine that. So what it does, though, the chilling part of it, is that it puts business surveillance together with government. The businesses do the surveillance and they report to the government, and the government takes actions to deny you of your rights if you do some of these things that the government decides are bad. And all of that is a long explanation to say we should play this clip yesterday, because if this doesn't sound like it, I don't know what does. This is President Biden saying, hey, governors, DeSantis and Abbott, if you won't introduce vaccine passports and restrict people from their rights, step out of the way and let businesses do it and universities do it. Let's cue that up and just listen to this first, I think, 37 seconds.
So before they go there, right, so this is what we talked about before. That's how they got you. That's how they enslave you, right? They have all the corporations that grow your food, sell your food, truck your food, make your electronics, do the thing, like maintain your hotels. They're all beholden to the king, right? They all need business licenses and all that stuff. And this is how they run the slave plantation. They don't have to take your rights and say, oh, well, you're violating my constitutional rights. No, they're not. They're just telling the businesses that, hey, you won't have a business if you let people come in your business that have black skin. Oh, sound familiar? Or people who didn't engage in an experiment. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And please let me know that you were hip to what's going down, because this is the next systemic law, which is why I told y'all you can go back, watch them videos from 3 years ago. They picked that man for a reason. The reason why they know you did not pick him and you didn't defy him. He was already picked ahead of time. Why? Because he is a master of writing systemic laws. He's the whole reason systemic racism in America existed since after the crime bill. That man. So the next laws are coming are systemic laws to make the new class of people the subclass, and that's the people that don't engage in the experiment. The experiment, not the V. There is no V. It's an E, right? I'm in league 100% with the people I respect who are pro-V, because we used to have great discussions over the science. That's not happening now. This is a E. These are pro-E people. Pro-V people have no interest in pro-E.
Of cases is particularly concentrated in states with low vaccination rates. Just 2 states, Florida and Texas, account for 1/3 of all new COVID-19 cases in the entire country. Just 2 states. Look, we need leadership from everyone. If some governors aren't willing to do the right thing to beat this pandemic, then they should allow businesses and universities who want to do the right thing to be able to do it.
Allow the businesses and universities to do it.
Yes.
Straight to...
Hold on, whoa. How come he didn't talk about Massachusetts? Is it Massachusetts? The one where 3/4 of all the new cases of the new variant came from who? Dun, 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 dun. The pro-E people, all right? They're the ones creating and spreading and shedding that stuff everywhere. So I wish you'd have mentioned them. I think it's Massachusetts. Somebody fact check me.
Abbott and DeSantis.
You know, in a free society, there is a definite measurement of economic benefits and skills, as well as social decorums, because the people who become in charge in a free market are the customers, not big business, not government, and not labor unions, not armed force, not organized force supported by the government. It's by the consumer buying and selling, and this measures the credibility of the individual. Once you get into this social credit stuff, it's an effort or a pretense that they can measure objectively, how well people are doing, how obedient the people are, how obedient the government is.
It's 100% about obedience. Somebody quick, if anyone believes in a social credit score, tell me the difference between slavery and a social credit score philosophically, other than the fact that social credit score works a little bit better.
It's how obedient the businessman is. If the businessman is very obedient, then all of a sudden his social credit score does pretty well, and you get contracted. A lot of that goes on already.
Yep. Are you selling the right products? Are you selling the GMOs? Are you selling things that come from China that are lining the pocket of the oligarchs in America? Are you doing the right things? If not, we will make you pay higher taxes. We won't let you have a business license. We won't let you have a store. We won't let you put the store in a prominent location, right? This is the slavery, people. This is what we're talking about.
The people who lobby, I mean, you take the military industrial complex. Did you ever? Well, every once in a while you have somebody, but they won't be on TV. The military people get a job on TV, and they're obedient to the bipartisan beliefs that we should be involved around the world, and that is our duty, to police the world and have an empire.
So, right. Colonization. Getting back to it. I don't know why people hate Columbus, but they love colonize. They listen to all the colonizers talking, United States Incorporated, but they talk about they don't like Columbus. Christine's not late breakfast. I eat breakfast around noon because I get up at 5. Got a lot to do. So this actually is my breakfast. And what's the temperature? Today it's supposed to get to 90, maybe.
But that's what they're trying to do. But in order to do that, they have to, first decide who owns you and who owns your business. For this to work, the assumption has to be
who owns you. Does that sound familiar? Every day, Ron Paul is sounding more and more like George Carlin. They own you. And people, Nicole Sears, are still talking about how, with a government. You don't have a government. You have owners. You have people who are acting like politicians. They own you 100%. There's no Democrats. There's no Republicans. There are slaves and there are owners, and the people who hold the whips, and the politicians hold the whips. All right, let me race through some comments. Ha! Ha ha! Enjoy your breakfast. I am Christine. I enjoy breakfast. That's my favorite meal of the day. Although I will say this is actually a Hobbit second breakfast, to be honest with you, because every day I start with fruit, but I love this breakfast. I love eggs and lots of vegetables and stuff mixed all together with a little avocado. But right out the cut, early in the morning, you start raw. I start with fruit. I need that energy to get going. I don't want to be bogged down. See, I eat this, I want to go to sleep. Hey, Nicole Squeers, whatever your name is now. Or is it Swears? Am I saying it wrong? No credit score when you plug off the when you plug off the system, right? And Christine, and once again, going back to actual solutions, not talking. If you are not a part of the system, or if you are less a part of the system, everybody's a part of the system, but if you are less a part of the system, there's less thing they can do to screw with you, right? I don't have to go to the store to buy figs. I got a fig tree right there. It's got figs on it. I don't have to go to the store to buy tomatoes. I got a tomato tree right there. I got no tomatoes on it, but it's got some flowers. I've got melons coming up. What else I got? A whole bunch of stuff growing over here. Basil, I've got unlimited peppers, sunflowers everywhere, bananas, stevia. I don't have to engage in their system. So largely Christine, the reason I care is because most of the people I love are on grid. But in terms of what they're talking about, United States Incorporated, I don't care. I don't actually need them for anything. I enjoy using them for things. I took myself to the movies yesterday, Christine, and we had a great time. I got myself tipsy, and some interesting things could have happened because the sun was going down and I was tipsy. Anyway, won't go there. But I enjoy what's on grid, but I don't actually need what's on grid. And that's the benefit of seeing the problem, seeing what's coming, making a decision so that you won't be walked into being a slave. And this is what I'm warning everybody about, right? This is actually what's happening. This is happening. This is not a dream. You don't need to pinch yourself. They are making a power play. Big corporations are making a power play and revealing to you who actually owns the governments. And you're either going to go along with it or you're not. If you are on grid, if you need them for your food, your water, your mortgage, your job, your car, whatever, they're going to walk you into doing exactly what they require you to do because they'll wait you out. They'll go slow. They'll just tell you that you can't have this or you can't go there or you need this. And eventually your kids will be hungry enough. They're going to do it. They're going to get the experiment. They're going to do what they're told. They're going to go along with it. There is no rebellion of dependence from a system that they're dependent upon. They will all capitulate in time. So this is the time where we all need to step up and walk away in any way possible.
The government owns it. They own it, and maybe you have your deed and papers that show that you own it, but you listen and do what the government says. So real ownership doesn't exist because what is gained, what is sought is the total ownership and control. And that's what they're doing. And they're really, I say that there's been a lot of that for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that's what interventionism was breeding. You know, the intervention was a little bit here, a little bit there, and it built, crony capitalism and corporatism. And now it's getting much more aggressive. And they're quite capable of using force and violence in order to get their way. Of course, we've seen some of the violence already,
Yeah.
but because this is such intimidation and a threat and violates everything about private property and free market that hopefully the people will wake up. But the ultimate result is the consumer is going to suffer from this. Already there's shortages already and prices are soaring and you will have all these problems. But where the problem comes is the consumer is waking up and wants something done, but are they going to understand the real problem? And that's what we hope we can do, is contribute to something to.
See, and this is why I appreciate people like Charles. He understands and he sees it, right? We're all on the plantation. And it doesn't mean, I'm a correct a little bit, Charles. I'm still on the plantation. I'm in the wild. I'm off grid. I'm still within the plantation's borders, but I found me a bush. I decided, damn it, I don't want to pick the cotton no more. And I ran. Found me a spot in the woods I can hide and I can plot. I can get my stuff, my blacksmithing and sharpen my spears and do what I need to. And I don't need to go to the big house for water. I don't need to pick masses cotton. I don't need to do those things. And so, but we need people on grid. I will say that too. We need people because I wouldn't know what was going on off grid if it weren't for my friends on grid. But it's a thing of working together, but everybody needs to figure out where they want to land. Because if you live on the plantation, you will pick their cotton. They will whip you when they want to. You won't be able to have your day of Jubilee or the weekend off at the master need more cotton pick. Everybody's got to pick and choose. Charles, I can't stay on grid because I'm an obstinate one, right? Because when you finally tell me that, oh, I need to do this to go in a grocery store and buy tomatoes on a grid that I've been writing software my entire life and wrote software for grocery stores, I helped build this grid. And you mean to tell me that I can't engage in it unless I engage in an experiment or unless I do any damn thing? That's not even about the experiment. Then I'm going to tell you to go to hell. And when you bring out the whip, I'm going to bring something else out. Don't bring a whip to another fight. All right. So I don't have the patience and tolerance to sit there and play these CIA mind games on grid, trying to figure out how to live free. I'm going to live free and I'm obstinate, Charles. I'm the one that'll run off the plantation, come back, get his foot cut off. But some people want to stay on grid and that's up to them. But everybody right now needs to ask themselves, do they want to live in a world where corporations decide everything from you, for you, your food, your water, your medicine, where you go, where you don't go, when you can't go there, and let corporations and profit become the new master. And then people, if they don't like that, they need to act on it. That's where we are. We're not at a place of talking anymore. We're at a place of action. It's time for people to start acting.
The understanding of why this happens, because you can't wave a wand and get rid of the government. They have to understand what kind of government you want, because people will eventually get the government they want or help get rid of the one they have.
Yeah.
But right now, this is a step for a long way in the wrong direction. And just the whole idea that an article like this can be written and identifying it, that's why I think it's important. They're identifying exactly what's going on here. And it certainly isn't the promotion of freedom.
It is, and it's chilling. You know, this merger of the corporation with the state, with the intent of doing the political bidding of the state, is probably the most terrifying development that I've seen in decades.
Hold on there, Daniel McAdams. Did the corporations merge with the state? Is that what happened? People educate themselves and read law, the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871. Did the corporations merge with the state? Or was the state put on hold, pause, the republic put away, and a corporation was developed, created by the law, the Organic Act, the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871. See, and this is where, you know, like I said, I don't think anybody knows it all and nobody says it all because there's too much. They've been running these scams on us for thousands of years. And so nobody knows it all. But to correct Daniel in that, which I hate to do, I love the brother so much. He just dropped so much good information. We don't actually have a government in bed with corporations. We have a corporation that pretends to be a government.
But Kristen Tate does a good job with this. And here's something else: is she's actually tracking about how this really is being implemented in the U.S. She mentions, we've seen this too. PayPal announced a partnership with the Southern Poverty Law Center, an extremist left-wing group, to investigate the role of white supremacists and other anti-government rhetoric on PayPal. So then you can't use PayPal.
Dun, 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 dun.
Also chilling. PayPal says it will collect information and share it with other financial firms and politicians. So you get blocked from these things. Facebook is.
So, and this is what I talk about, the fuggles, right? The fake struggles, the fuggles. They give these fuggles for people to fight in that are fake and mean nothing. If you were at the end of the level, y'all ever play Donkey Kong? All right. When you get to the end of the level and you see the big monkey with the barrel and it's just throwing the barrel at you, do you go start jumping over the barrel and fighting with the monkey, the big monkey, or do you walk back and go fight with people that was on the last level that you wasn't even fighting with back then? See, that's what that is. They want you to go after white supremacy because you don't understand bank supremacy. You don't understand corporation supremacy. You don't understand that the master of the plantation is what's got to get taken down. They have you fighting with the people holding the whip, perhaps. I'm not saying it again. I don't do supremacies. I got my own supremacies. You got your own supremacies. I got a whole bunch of them. There's no reason why we need to sit down and debate what our supremacies are. I had a mother and a father. I had a father who's a software engineer. He worked at the Pentagon. We had food every morning for breakfast. We had nice clothes and shoes. I have a lot of white friends that had none of that. So I don't even get into it. And people say, yeah, but they got more chance in it. Depends on who you are. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. In the Washington, D.C. area, they don't, because you got to have black skin to get in the right corporations, or you got to be a part of a fraternity or sorority. So like I said, I don't touch that. Everybody's got their own little unique approach to the world, and you got your supremacies. Use your supremacies to help people. End of story. Don't worry about nobody else. Worry about that funky man in the mirror, that funky woman in the mirror. You got enough baggage and problems that you need to deal with that you don't need to worry. But this is what they do. They get you to be judgmental. They get you to engage in willful ignorance, that you know somebody else's life based on their skin color. What is that called, people? I know something about you just by looking at your skin. What's that called? That's called racism, right? They make you the monster that you think you're fighting, and you become the monster. So I'm not worried about no white supremacy. That's stupid. Black supremacy, yellow, parent supremacy, got a degree supremacy, doctor supremacy. All of that is insignificant when you look at the masters that are running this plantation, massive corporations. You need to worry about big pharma supremacy. You need to worry about big tech supremacy. You need to worry about glyphosate supremacy. You need to worry about the things that's coming to kill you. not the bullshizzle from 200 years ago that you can't let go because you don't know how the world works.
Taking similar measures, they have those things. Are you worried you might have extremist friends? They're blocking other web giants, and the UN has a database to block potential extremist content. The question is, well, so what if you go to the wrong church? What if you have views like this that are absolutely nonviolent, but your views don't merge with this emerging sort of left-wing ideology? And Tate points it out pretty well that that this could really be the end of your freedom here in the U.S. And it's
And from the very beginning, we were complaining about these vaccine passports,
Yeah.
and of course,
All right, that's it. We can't play that no more. That's why Ron ain't on Facebook no more. He tells you the real things. I make up words and I make up scenarios and situations like putting up barbed wire fence. You must first study the high wire. You must first do the high wire before you understand how to put a barbed wire fence up. You will, in order to get a healthy barbed wire fence, you have to study the high wire or your fence will fail. You might die if you don't put up a good, healthy fence. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That? All right. I'm going to read comments and I'm going to go. Breakfast is done. Belly almost full. Breakfast. Then I need to get back to work. I'm not doing the Cobb House today, Christine, but I work on the Cobb House every day. I actually got all the bars. Well, actually, I got 6 of the bars up. I probably got to put another 8. That'll hold the plastic and a shade cloth. Then I can get in there and start building the koi pond in the Cobb House. So that's coming. We need, but got to first things first. That's the cow fence, which is almost done. I ran another 600 feet barbed wire this morning. I'm gonna try to finish that up today. And if I can finish that up today, then building the Cobb House will be the priority. We need to keep repeating ourselves. People who respect authority are just beginning to waken up. This is true, Lori. And that's why I had to block Walter. All right, and I'm not sad about it. I've warned people about this, right? We do repost and re-say things a lot. And we say them different ways. We use different analogies. We talk about it from a different perspective. And he is someone who doesn't like that, or I don't know what's going on with him. I don't really care, right? He thinks everybody has to be at his level. And there are new people who are just realizing. And the biggest thing that's waking people up right now, Lori, is the fact that the news is telling them that they're super spreaders. And that's pissing people off. And it should. So when people get pissed off, do we let that pissed off energy just like fizzle out and go nowhere? Or do we tell them and show them that we, along with other people, have been saying this for the longest time, right? Don't trust corporations who come in with an experiment. Never trust them. The Tuskegee experiment will never make you healthy, right? They did something for public fear. And so those people who are pissed off, if they're hearing the things now, their ears are ready to hear. Like, how's that scripture go? For those who have ears to hear. Well, they were scared 3 years ago. They didn't have ears to hear. Now they're pissed off. They got ears to hear. And now we can tell them what's going on. But Lori, I can't let people get in the way of that. And right now, unfortunately, the ignorant things that are coming out of his mouth in terms of lies and character assassination. I blocked like 5 or 6 people in the last week, and it's getting good to me. I might become both of them. Like, yay, say something stupid. Go ahead and say it. Block. And I don't even care if you like, it's not about disagreement. Disagree with me all day. I got a good friend, who's in Lennon. She disagrees with me all the time, and I'm fine with that. I don't know. She is respectful. She's mature. She's an adult. Who is the brother that's always promoting the V's? I forgot the brother's name. He's back around. You know, we used to go back and forth on this stuff all the time because he liked open discussion and becoming educated. I like open discussion and becoming educated, right? So if you are here to engage in a discussion, disagree all you want. But if you're here to like put women down and assassinate people's characters and lie and make stuff up, you just want a following on the internet, you got to go. I don't have time for that, right? See this number right here? Well, I don't know if you can see that number. 25 people watching. That's a wonderful thing. But I don't really care about that, right? Right now, it's not about having a following. It's about saying what's important, because 24 people might have heard me say this a million times. The 25th person might be the one. You never know who the right person is who needs to hear what actually is happening in the world. And it might change every damn thing. Look, 26, he didn't told somebody else. So it's not about the numbers, not about your subscriptions. Most of my friends, they got 8 profiles. I don't even know their names anymore, right? They say what's true, they get blocked, they come back, they say what's true, they block, they come back, and they have small followings because they keep creating new pages. But to me, that actually is defying the system, right? Those are things that we need to do. Hey, Citizen Dev, good morning. I'm gonna read the comments and I'm gonna go. I'll post the link for Ron Paul. If y'all don't have it, y'all can watch it. But that's why he's not on this platform anymore, because he says truthful things. Lori, I think it's more easy to travel to Europe than to the US. That's a good question. I don't know. All I do know is children are traveling and they're being abused and their parents are going along with it. And I think that that's wrong. People are getting caught in other countries because they have a test that the cat just said the test don't even work. It can't even tell the difference between the flu and this thing. And now you realize they destroyed the entire world and killed how many hundreds of thousands of people in this nonsense? And they didn't have something that worked from the very beginning. Everybody should be upset, but we should take that upsetness and channel that into positive places, which is, okay, so how do we get out of this? It's sovereignty, right? You stand up for your neighbor's rights. I posted that the other day, and I guess some people didn't understand it. If you don't stand up for your neighbor's rights, you don't deserve any rights, right? That's how that works. The neighbor you don't like the most, like, now is the time for you to stand up for everybody, people you don't even agree with. You might have went out and got your experiment, but you're not worried. Like, you know you're safe. You got your experiment. You ain't got nothing to worry about. The news is lying. You need to stand up for your neighbor's rights who don't want it, or none of us will have rights. They've been playing us against each other from religion to race to nation to male and female and sexual preferences and all the crap. Now they got the vegans and the meat-ins and the vegetarians. Now they fighting in the maskers and non-maskers. They've been playing dumb people against dumb people for the one, not dumb, ignorant. Time that we stop playing this game. Okay, if got money, to get off grid first and the land to get off grid. I'm sorry, Mandy. I'm having troubles with this. Okay, if got money to get off grid. You sound like me, Mandy. Did you go to Maryland Public School? I'm sorry. I know you type. It's hard to type. Mandy, it's hard to read comments when I do this. So anyway. Okay, if got money to get off grid first and the land to get off grid, isn't Pictures mobile internet that's half off? Oh, okay. I'm not sure, but I would say don't go with anything off grid. One of the lessons I learned is HughesNet sucks, VisitSat sucks, or they all suck. If you're gonna do it, you got to go with the billionaire. You got to go with Elon Musk. If you want upload speed, like if I stop framing right now, it's because they don't have strong upload speeds. You need a strong upload speed if you need to do any video, anything. So my suggestion would be to go with Elon Musk's. I think the equipment is like $500, but his monthly price is even cheaper. Don't worry with Sprint and Cell Internet and all that. That's all bullshit. So I play with that too. Karen, head of the USCIS Cleveland department, tries to take advantage of my family and stole my family, and she's trying to rip apart my family and trying to deport my husband. I refuse to let her destroy. Woo! Yeah, Ropam. Well, that's how America gets down. That's the United States Incorporated, not America, United States Incorporated. Human trafficking has always been their business. Human trafficking has been the business of the East India Trading Company since the very beginning. Then when they closed up in 1869 or 1870, and all of a sudden, 1871, United States Incorporated, dun, 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 and somehow somebody had all the money in the world to buy a country. It was the East India Trading Company. That's who we are. But they've been involved in human trafficking from the very beginning, Ropam, and I think you know that, which is why that hashtag Save the Children is important. If we can get people to take that hashtag and take it a step further and understand that all of this is human trafficking. That's what slavery is. That's what the social credit score is, all human trafficking. Donkey Kong, what century is this, love? Oh, cut it out. Doug, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the new games. I just know that when you get to the end, at the top of the level, you're supposed to fight the big boss. Don't fight the little boss. Don't fight the little boss of the boss. Don't, it's like, y'all remember, what's that show where you get off the airplane, you're on vacation, it's like, boss, the plane, Fantasy Island. If you got an issue with the island, do you go find a little guy? You go get the the midget and fight with him, or you go get the guy that the one that's the guy with the funny accent? You go after the big guy, And this is kind of old people stuff, so I apologize. But anyway, we support Japan. Much love. Yes, we do. Absolutely. And we support anybody who's a victim of human trafficking. And unfortunately, right now, that's everybody. Right? Forced labor is human trafficking. And people say, yeah, but I got a good job. All right, but can you quit your job? Can you quit your job and just go live your life? No, you can't, because you're a slave. It's called forced labor. They attach debt on your forehead at your birth. They do this to every single baby because the billionaires don't want to work and they don't want their kids to work. They want their kids to own your kids the same way they own you. And as long as we keep playing this nonsense, it's gonna keep going this way. And that's why I'm off grid. You walk away from the system. Easiest way to fight a system is for it not to have users. So I'm glad in many ways I'm no longer using the system. In some ways I do. When off grid, they find you, they got heat tracking. Oh yeah, well you don't go off grid to hide, man. You ain't nowhere to run, no when to hide. No, I mixed up two songs. No when to hold them, no when to fold them, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can't hide from corporations that own the planet. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. You're either engaging with them or you're taking your profit from them, right? You're either a user of their system or you're a minimum user of the system, but there's nowhere you can go. Anybody who feels the need to hide, they might as well just go ahead and just be happy and go kiss master, get a big house by him or something, because you're not going to get away. They want you to be scared. They want you to run and they want you to hide, right? The last thing they want you to do is say, I don't give two damns about you. I'm not off grid because I'm running nor hiding. I'm off grid because you don't own me. I'm not a part of you, right? You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to scare me. And if you say that to engage in a world I help build, that you have to be able to abuse me and do whatever you want to me and my body, then I'm going to tell you to go to hell and I'm going to walk away and say you don't even exist. So, that's my thing with, who's that? Mandy with fears. Don't ever fear nothing. Don't fear these people. They're not even people. It's a system. Just walk away from it. All right. Cue duelings, banjos from the hills. Right. You got my back, Bofon. Are you watching? You got my back? Because I don't think Bofon ain't gonna watch my back. Bofon gonna sit there and he goes, oh my God, is that a mountain lion? He'll start making a meme or something. Y'all watch my video. Y'all see something coming. Y'all let me know. I gotta go. That reminded me. I gotta get to work. I got to put the rest of this fence up, and that'll help things to be a little safer around here, including keeping that big honking rattlesnake out of my camp. That thing was huge. They said it's a diamondback or razorback or diamond razor. I don't know. Baby got back. It was just a big honking rattlesnake under a rock. I almost stepped on. There'll be a quiz later. Yep, and it's called, how do you want the world to end? All right. How did it go, you guys? That was that. No, let me get down to the last. I'm almost down to the last comment. Oh, wow. That's never happened. Transhumanism on its way. Absolutely. The jar shaker supremacy. I'm not sure what that is, Jack, but I'm not fighting with them. I'm not fighting with them because you know what? Because they're within the Monopoly game. If somebody's within the Monopoly game, I'm not fighting with them. I will. Who made Monopoly, Jack? Is it not Warner Brothers, Parker Brothers, one of the brothers, Koch brothers? Somebody made it. My issue is with the game makers. I have no issue with the people playing the game. They dumb as I am. They might have more cars. They might have bigger houses, might have bigger bank accounts. I don't have an issue with them. They just did better at the game. I'm fine with that. I don't care nothing about that. The game must end. We must be end gamers. See that fly on my head? Good Lord, I look like I was in a presidential debate. All right, I'm sorry. Thank you, sister. I love you too. Oh, look at all that love going back and forth. All right, there to go. I just hope they skin people without the skin. I hope they wait a minute. I hope they have skin. Oh, I mean, I thought you were talking about like the my ancestor. No, I thought you were talking about the Cherokee and, oh, my bad. I just hope they skin. I hope they have skin. People without the skin are going to die. Oh, that's code word for something, Citizen Deb. Yeah. It's still a little too deep for me right now, so I got to go. My mind is actually on different things because I got other things I got to do, y'all. I got to go. So we won't be able to pay rent because, yes, the blank is being forced. Exactly. And that's how that the social credit score works, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Anybody who needs their system will do everything that they tell them to. Because you might be obstinate at first, but try homelessness. See how that. Oh, Mike, and you've been there too. You know what that's like. If went off grid soon, then how do we wake, bro, sis? So do you leave them behind? Oh, brothers and sisters. Not spiritual or dog eat dog. Nope. Mandy has got to do Mandy. Mandy sees trouble coming. Mandy can tell people, but Mandy's got to get out of harm's way, right? It's like survival of the fittest. It never stops. And what you have to, what you can try to do, Mandy, and which is what I try to do, is make room for other people, right? Don't just go take care of Mandy. Mandy says, listen, there's a storm coming. I'm going to go build the ark. Y'all can stay here or y'all can come help me build the ark, but I'm going to go build the ark and I'm going to try to make some room for you. Now, mind you, my name is Mandy, damn it, and I can't do it all myself. But if I do the ark by myself, you're not going to be in the nice cabin in the upper suite in the high part of the ark. You're going to be in the low part of the ark. You might have to bunk with a rattlesnake. You might have to bunk with some sheep. You might have to bunk with a donkey. All right? Because you didn't help me build it. But Mandy can save a lot of people because Mandy actually sees what's coming. But if you stay there and it's like a drowning, somebody's drowning, Mandy. Here's another example. When somebody's drowning, two people are drowning, and no, bad example. If someone's drowning and they're not calm, you have to let them drown. If someone is drowning and they don't get it and they're fighting, kicking, screaming, flipping out, being Walter, crazy on the timeline, just doing dumb stuff, saying dumb things, they're going to drown you too. So the thing you got to ask yourself is, do you want to drown with them? And do you want to go prepare a place for them so if they do wake up later, they at least can bunk with a polar bear or something? You know what I mean? All right, I gotta go. Let me see. Long overdue. Yes. I get a comment from everybody. Walter is sadly so negative he hurts himself. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's still my friend. I still consider him a brother. I still do consider, but he's in a space right now where he's very dangerous because he's getting in the way of important conversations. And he almost killed me today, Christine. Damn it. If I wasn't paying attention, I'm reading his comment, just all of this brabble and brabble and brabble and brabble and brabble. And I didn't look down and see that big honking snake. I could be gone right now. That's what I'm saying. I don't have on-grid people problems. I got off-grid people problems. And I listen to what's going on grid, but when it gets a little too silly and it's a little too dramatic, I just say, I can't have anything to do with that. And hopefully people understand where I'm coming from when it comes to that. My friends get in drama. For some reason, they like that drama. It just, they get stitched in it. This is why I tell you that I don't get stitched in your drama, right? To me, I always have one point. I don't choose sides. I have no interest in anybody's drama. My point is this: not now, not here. Go do whatever you want over there. Go up. But on my page, I'm trying to have intellectual discussions over important information so we can decide what actions we should be taking. All right. And I'm down to last comments. I got to go, you guys. I'm sorry. I do got to run. I think I got something from everybody except for Sandy. She said, put your air on first. Yes, absolutely. Put your air on first and put the high wire on first. Absolutely. Don't open your mouth till you breathe in your air. Got to get your oxygen. Don't let anybody restrict your oxygen. It's number one. Every system in your body, you need oxygen. And don't do anything that the news tells you until you go to the high wire and educate yourself on what the news won't tell you. Gaia Pristine, good morning. I think I got something from everybody. Maybe TJ Glenn. Right. First people there prepares the place for the others, as Yeshua did. There you go, TJ. And the other thing is you learn a lot that those people will need to know. Like I learned, like there's a lizard right there. It's a lizard over there. They're always crawling around. And before I saw that big monster snake this morning, it was the size of that, that snake on the thing with Ice Cube. Y'all remember when the snake came after the boat? It's an anaconda. It was out in the hills. So I can tell people now, TJ Glenn, where not to go. I can show them that, you know, there's almost no snakes here at all. But when you do see them, it's going to be in the shade, right? So it's not just preparing a place, TJ Glenn, but on top of that, it's understanding how do you live in the places, you know, where they're going to. A lot of people are used to on grid, and not everybody's got that, you know, love of it, of living free. I love living free, TJ. I'll never live on grid. Like this has nothing to do with the dumbness that's happened over the last 3 years from Sugardemic and Wuhan from via Fort Detrick and Fauci demic, right? All that, because that's all real. I just have no interest in Rockefeller Road anymore. I'll never live on grid again. I don't like on grid. I've lived on grid my entire life, TJ Glenn. I've learned everything I need to know about living on grid and being a colonizer. I don't want to do that no more. I'm done with it. So I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna build a whole new grid. F drama. That's it. That's all. Just let it go. But I mean, we are human though, Jasmine, right? Like drama happens and we get into it. No matter how much we don't like drama, eventually it's gonna show up and knock on your door. Hey, Jasmine. It's just somebody wise said, it's not what you go through, it's how you go through it, right? So when that drama shows up to your door, just try to go through it in a way that's becoming of a spiritual creature, becoming of somebody who is positive, love and light and all that stuff that people like to post about. Who's Walter? I don't even worry about it. It doesn't even matter at this point. But I warn people. It's not like I didn't warn them. I warn people. I'm done with the dumbness. That's all. I'm done with disagree, whatever, make jokes, fine with that and everything. Tired of y'all hurting people's feelings, coming after my friends, personal attacks, not offering anything to the discussion, right? If you are there for drama and attention or because something's going on in your life, you got too much of your medication, and, you know, I need a break from you. All right. Rather's like rocky terrain, rocks, to Ken's hide under. Yes, exactly. Good eye, Gerard. Thank you, Marianne. It wasn't a good eye. It's because Harsh was arguing with Walter. So I didn't have to engage in it. And so I took my eyes away from the phone and I saw the rattlesnake. Harsh literally just saved my life. Isn't that a song? The DJ saved my life or something? Because Harsh was dealing with him. I don't have time. Got grid marks. Okay. All right, to go. Listen, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all to death. This is Gerard coming to you from West Texas, out in the desert, off grid, wild, all of that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Social credit scores here. Did finally let you know slavery is hot and popping and they're about to crank it up. Please, please do not find yourself on the side of billionaires and the slave masters, because if you do, then I'm at odds with you. And unfortunately, I'm pretty good when I get in conflicts. So I don't want to be in that conflict, but the flies are so creepy. I'm sorry, he just broke he landed right there. Why did he do that? You know they rub their hands together. Did y'all see that? No, you can't see the damn thing landed, and you know I'm gonna have to kill him. Where's my flashlight? He landed. He's like this. Did y'all see him? Y'all didn't see? I'm like trying to do a live stream. They don't respect person. They like Walter. He landed right there. They didn't respect. No, he's just sitting there, like you know these are my eggs. Damn it, these are my eggs. You ain't get it, or maybe it was for me. But anyway, listen, you guys, I got to go. Y'all have a great day. I love y'all to death. This is Gerard. I am out. Bye-bye. Free the people.
Do you wanna break the chains that bind me? 'Cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you wanna set the world free? Have perfect harmony. Isn't it time for that? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you want to let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people in my year two. Close down all the zoos. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free, 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 boom, boom? Free the people, do you wanna free?